Welcome to another episode. We are talking about, actually, I have to look at my notes here, maximizing property value with renovations, what actually pays off. So we have our special guest, Anthony Russo. Anthony, give us some legal advice on renovations and property value enhancements.
Thanks, Evan. Renovations are important in terms of when you resell your property. Obviously, it depends on what you think the market is looking for in your neighborhood. Certain areas have different benefits for extra kitchens or extra bathrooms or extra bedrooms or pools or outside improvements. So it really depends on the market that you're in. But generally speaking, we see in our business when homes sell or resell, extra kitchens, extra bathrooms, dormers where you have extra bedrooms or living space. I guess since COVID, living space is at a premium. People are home more in general, value that home time with their family members. Backyard improvements have been crucial, hard to get. You have to wait a long time. I don't know if that's eased a little bit now, but in terms of enhancing the value of a home, definitely those features that someone stepping into your home would value more. And again, I see it more as the outdoor living spaces, the pools, and even the indoor, what do you call it, rec rooms or extra benefits that allow
Yep.
people to spend quality time.
I think on the real estate side, what I see a lot is, obviously, I'm not going to keep it a secret. Everybody knows I like to eat a lot. So the kitchen is pretty much where the whole family kind of congregates, hangs
Sure.
out. And, the kitchen has to be, I would say, make the kitchen updated as much as possible, whatever you can afford at that time. Um, I think one of the things that was most important during the pandemic was pretty much a lot of people working from home. So people decided the extra space that they had in the basement or a space they had like in the corner somewhere, they made it into a home office. A lot of people basically, have the kids coming home from school. They needed a space for them. So they had the home office and they had a space for the kids. All right, you're doing your homework over here. That's your office.
Mhm.
This term was very popular before the pandemic. It's still popular, and I'm not going to let it die. The she shed. It's very important to a lot of people. We have the man cave, and now we have the she shed, and we have the family room. Whatever you want to call it, basically, those things are very important to a lot of people, a lot of families, like you said. They want to make the home really a home for themselves. So that brings a lot of value. Whatever you put into a home could be valuable to you, it could mean nothing to the next person. But the key thing is basically keeping your roof updated, fix the roof whenever there's a leak, repair the roof, the foundation repair. Those major repairs, basically keep those things up to date as much as
Mhm.
possible. Like minor stuff like the appliances, most of the time, whoever's buying the next house or is buying the house is going to get their own appliances anyway. But the major things are pretty much the roof, foundation, HVAC. Keep those things. There's usually checklists basically for all these things. I would suggest to people get a checklist and just go through them every quarter and just make sure that you're maintaining your house the way it should be. And talk to you should have a handyman nearby. If you don't have one, reach out to your realtor, reach out to your lender, reach out to your attorney, and they can provide you with somebody that they work with that they recommended on a regular basis. And if you happen to have somebody that basically does stellar work, let your realtor know that as well, because basically that would be an added value that they can provide basically to other people as well. And your handyman will appreciate that as well. Make sure they're licensed.
I agree. I also think that, as you touched upon, the basic structures of the homes are the most important. Someone comes in, they may not like your bathroom, they may not like your cabinets, but the structure itself, that it has the space that's available for them to use it as they want, adding that extra room so they can make it an office. You may use it as a bedroom, or vice versa. Having the ability to have the shell the way they want it, and then add the features, decorations to their liking. But doing something and making it very unique for yourself, the other buyer may not value it the same way. So you're not going to get the value out of it that you put into it. And that's the key. Having the space, adding that extra room for someone else to use, that you can use and they can use themselves whatever way they want, is more valuable in the long run. So that's how I always look at it when a client speaks about renovations, or even myself. Can it be used for something later on that the buyer may want, even if it's not my use, but it has the ability to be used in different ways?
I'd say you leave yourself with some options. So pretty much if you're currently using that extra room for the baby and the baby decide, well, at some point the baby is no longer a baby and they move on to another room in the house, and then you have the older kid basically moves upstairs to the attic. That becomes their bedroom or whatever the case may be. And that older kid leaves, goes to college. The middle child takes that space. The baby now takes the other child's place, and now that baby room is now an office or whatever you decide to make it. A lot of people are doing this. They're going back to the gym. Some people are actually putting gyms in their homes, and some people like me basically put a gym in their homes and we don't use it. So yeah, you have to whatever the time that you're doing stuff, basically you have to start thinking long term also.
Right.
You don't want to, get in too deep where you're like, all right, well, this room was purpose for this. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Things change. Life happens and stuff changes all the time. So you might be single now and you decide, all right, you know what? I think I'm getting married and I want to add more space basically for my family or soon to be extended family to move in and stuff like that. Or, it might be the other case basically where, all right, great, let's just knock everything down, basically making this an open space concept. So
Right.
just leave yourself with some options. Yeah, and then always basically reach out to your contractor, your realtor, whoever. And we're at the age where we have computers right now. You can actually take apps, take pictures of your dwelling right now, and you can get ideas of, okay, this is what it looks currently. What would it look like if I decided to put a wall, a partition over here, partial wall over here, or knock this wall down? And you can play around with the ideas of if this is something you want to do in the future, you can. And if, for us realtors, we like to give people options. So if the house looks like a certain way, here's some options basically that gives you an idea of what you can imagine in your head, what you can use it for, whatever you want to use it for, basically. Like, oh, here's some options. Like, oh, okay. And then your imagination starts going with you, like, all right, well, I didn't know we can do that. Basically, if we knock this wall down, obviously talk to your architect, and we can knock this wall down and we can put this over here and maneuver this wherever we need to maneuver. From the legal aspect, is there anything that you want to advise people?
No, again, people struggle with the concept of doing home improvements and whether they should get permits or not. A lot of people think that if they don't get the permits, they're going to save on their taxes, and that is the best way to go. I have to tell you, I disagree with that. I just did improvements myself. I got the permits. My taxes still haven't gone up, and when they do, it will be minimal, I guess, but the value of my home has increased. Probably greater than that. So I think that you're better served getting the permits. One, it certainly makes the job go forward easier. If you get a court, they're going to stop the work, and then you may have other problems for other things already that may not be permitted in your home. And getting the permits definitely maximizes the resale value, which is what we're speaking about. Being able to sell it with, an office or an extra bedroom, bathroom, or kitchen or outdoor space, is more valuable. When you go to sell it and you don't have a permit for that, a lot of buyers will stop in their tracks and say, I'm not paying full value for this. I may lose this feature or may have problems for it. Or my taxes may go up now because, you didn't do it, or I may have to redo it if it's not done properly. To get a permit today, I may have to put it into today's standards, which may be more stringent than in the past. So I may have to rip out that extra room and make it properly constructed, or electrical, plumbing, whatever it might be, which is going to be more costly and more damaging. So I always advocate get the permits now, and do the work, and your value will be maximized.
To reiterate what you just said, it's basically do the work properly the first time so that way it doesn't cost you more money in the long run. And that's the easiest way to say it, is just get it done properly.
Yeah.
You get the licensed person to do whatever the work that you need to get done, and they're going to take care of they should be able to take care of all the legal stuff, which is get the proper permits, proper paperwork. And you definitely want to take a look at this. And whenever you're selling the house, the next buyer, their attorney, if they're good at what they do, which they should be, they're going to ask for that paperwork because they want to see, hey, you know what, this person's buying it, basically, they're going to have a problem. Just like if you are purchasing your next property, or you are purchasing your next property, you want to make sure, hey, the thing that I'm purchasing, is this going to be more of a headache, or was this done properly? So your attorney's there to protect you when it comes to things like this anyway.
Yeah.
You know what? There's not much on this topic besides, talk to your attorney, talk to your realtor. I'm going to keep stressing this a lot. Talk to the professionals that you hire. That's what they're here for. That's what we're here for. Ask us questions, and then we'll tell you, which direction you want to go. You got to tell us basically what you want, what you want to do, what are you thinking. We can't read your mind, but basically tell us what you're thinking, and we can guide you in the right direction. And last words?
I agree. You can get value out of anything that you do to a home. Think before you do it. Try to speak to a reputable and good improvement contractors, and speak to realtors or look at Zillow or other sites to see what other homes in the neighborhood have done to maximize your value. So that's the goal in all of this.
We hope you got some value out of this. If you have any questions, you have any statements or any other things that you want us to discuss in the next couple of episodes, let us know, and we're happy to do more episodes with Anthony, as long as he's got time for us basically to do these things. So
My
appreciate
pleasure.
your time, Anthony. With that being
Likewise.
said, please share this with your friends and let us know. Give us some feedback. What do you thought? What are your thoughts right now? And what do you want to hear in the future?